Every year, the global wellness industry makes $250 billion. Supplements, sleep trackers, productivity apps, morning routine courses, biohacking protocols. And the people buying all of it are not lazy. They're not naive. They are some of the most driven, educated, self-aware people alive right now. So why are so many of them burnt out? Here's the thing. Self-improvement works. The science is real. The habits are real. The gains, in the beginning, are real. But there is a point where doing more stops making you better and starts making you worse. The industry built around self-improvement will never tell you where that point is, because that point is where their business model breaks. This video is about that point. Let's start with what's actually happening inside your body when you optimize. When you first make a real change, consistent sleep time, cutting alcohol, moving daily, your body responds fast. The gains are steep. You feel them. They're real. But here's what nobody puts in the thumbnail. Those gains follow a curve. Steep at the start, then it flattens. Economists call this diminishing returns. And in self-optimization, it means this. 80% of your results come from the first 20% of your effort. A 2023 study in the journal Sleep found that people using wearable trackers showed no significant improvement in actual sleep quality, compared to people who simply went to bed at the same time every night. The free habit outperforms the $300 device. So if the basics already captured most of the gains, what are you paying for? New metrics, new variables, new protocols. Each one designed to reset your sense of where the baseline is, so you are always, conveniently, just below optimal. Here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. This system, the idea that human behavior can be measured, tracked, and endlessly improved, it wasn't invented by the wellness industry. It was invented in 1911. By a factory manager named Frederick Winslow Taylor. Taylor introduced the stopwatch as a management tool. He broke workers' movements into inputs and outputs. He optimized rest intervals. He called it the one best way. His framework never died. It migrated from the factory floor to the office, from the office to the self-help industry, and now to the app on your wrist. The stopwatch became a wearable. The factory floor became your bedroom. Except now, you're not the worker being optimized by a manager. You are both. You hired yourself. And you are a brutal boss. Okay, so the system was always designed to keep you optimizing. Fine. But that doesn't answer the bigger question. Why now? Why is this generation, specifically, the most optimized, most tracked, most protocol-obsessed in history? Here's the answer nobody in the wellness space will give you. It's not because we're more ambitious. It's not because the science got better. It's because the economy broke. The traditional script, work hard, save money, buy a house, build stability, that script is no longer running for a massive portion of educated, driven people in their 20s and 30s. Average home prices in London, New York, Sydney, 10 to 15 times the median annual income. A job market where loyalty flows exactly one direction. A future that doesn't feel as solid as it was supposed to. So what do you do when you can't optimize your financial future? You optimize what you still can. Your body becomes a portfolio. Your sleep becomes an investment. Your morning routine becomes a business plan for the only company you still fully control. The wellness industry didn't create this anxiety, it just saw it and built a $250 billion business on top of it. Every tracker you buy, every app you subscribe to, it's not self-care, it's a product sold to someone who's been told the problem is them. In 2017, researchers named a new condition, orthosomnia. It's the clinical term for anxiety caused by sleep tracking. People so fixated on achieving a perfect sleep score that the fixation itself destroys the sleep. the tool designed to improve your sleep, is causing insomnia. There's a principle called Goodhart's Law. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. You track sleep to understand it, but once the score becomes the goal, the score stops measuring sleep. It starts measuring your anxiety about sleep, which then keeps you awake. Werner Heisenberg figured out the physics version of this in 1927. Observing something changes it. The act of measurement is not neutral. We built a $50 billion industry on forgetting that. And one more thing. Consumer sleep trackers misclassify sleep stages more than 50% of the time, compared to clinical standards. You are losing sleep over data that is, at best, half accurate. So, what's the answer? Not optimize less, but mindfully. That's the same thing in different packaging, and you'd know it immediately. Here's what's actually true. 1. The things that work are free and unsexy. Consistent sleep time, not tracked, just consistent. Moving your body. Eating food that isn't mostly engineered. One real conversation today without a screen between you. That's it. That's the research. It's not ambiguous. You already knew this. And that's the uncomfortable part. You knew, and you still opened the app. Because knowing was never really the point. 2. Stop measuring, start noticing. The difference between my HRV is 54 and I feel tired today is not precision, it's alienation. At some point you started trusting the number more than the feeling. That's not optimization, that's dissociation with a subscription fee. 3. This is the one nobody says out loud. A lot of what's making you anxious is not your routine, it's your situation. Housing you can't afford, a future that doesn't feel stable, real things, structural things that no morning routine will fix. No sleep score lowers your rent. No cold plunge closes the wealth gap. You have been given tools designed for a different problem and told, very profitably, that the problem is you. All of this, the routine, the tracking, the version of yourself you're working toward. For whom?